Hi everyone, Ben Packer, come to you from the Jerusalem Heritage House in the old city of Jerusalem with our Rashi of the week. This week's Parsha is Seitze, and the Parsha starts out with the Jewish people, what happens when you go to war. So this war is a bit of a theme of this Parsha among other things. Now, we get to one part over here where it starts talking about how you have to have accurate measurements. It says you shouldn't have two different kinds of scales, to rip people off basically, right? It's not a new phenomenon, ripping people off. Right? You can't mess with people with the scales, right, when you're weighing their food. It has to be accurate, otherwise it's stealing. Right? No good. Then the Parsha jumps to a different section and it says, remember what Amalek did to you on the way when you were leaving Egypt. Right? Famous thing that Amalek, this evil nation, attacked the Jewish people. They were the first ones to attack the Jewish people when they left Egypt. And we have a long-standing feud with them, put it mildly. Right? We're supposed to fight them forever, until they are no more. Very, very extreme, right? So Rashi says, remember what Amalek did to you. Rashi is looking back at the verses before that talk about those measurements, right? Those false measurements. It says, if you were untruthful about measures and about weights, be worried about provocation by the enemy. As it says, dishonest scales are an abomination to Hashem, to God. And afterwards it's written, iniquity comes and humiliation comes. Meaning if you're dishonest in your business practices or in your relations with other people, then there's going to be war. It's not so obvious that that's the case, right? But that's what the Torah is telling us, right? War comes often not because of all the reasons we think of in the world, but it comes because of the immorality of what's going on amongst us. And we're now in the month of Elul, leading up to Rosh Hashanah. And Rosh Hashanah is a day of judgment, leading up to Yom Kippur. And now is the time that we should be looking through all of our deeds and thinking how to be better people. So a lot of times we want to think about big stuff, I should be doing this, I should be doing that with my life, I should be, okay, that's also important. But also the little things, all the little things. We all have to work on our relationships with other people, make sure we're not deceiving them, fraud, this kinds of stuff. We have to be very careful that we're not doing these things. Not just because it's the wrong thing to do, and not just because we want forgiveness on Yom Kippur. We don't get forgiveness, by the way, if you steal from people. That's between man and man. You have to get forgiveness from the person. But also because we don't want to have war. This is what wars come from. This is what Rashi's telling us. We want to be very careful, especially this time of year. Shabbat Shalom.